They finally got the little leprechaun out of the NFC West. I think all 49er fans can rejoice all at once. Russell Wilson traded to the Denver Broncos. What's going to happen now for them? They got some up their sleeves. And also rumors about J.C. Jackson, 49ers potentially interested. And a lot of feedback I got was, no way they sign him. 49ers don't do that. I'm going to talk about how that's exactly something they do. We're going to get into it right here. You know what it is. San Francisco 49ers Morning Show. Let's go.
Intercepted. It is picked off by Aaron Crocker. Over midfield. He'll run it all the way into the end zone. Touchdown.
Cross Talk TV podcast. Peace. Welcome to another episode of the San Francisco 49ers Morning Show. I'm your host, former NFL and AFL defensive back, Eric Crocker. And today, man, like I said, man, we talking about some good stuff. I kind of want to go back to yesterday when we were talking about some of the coaching changes before we got rudely interrupted. I'm going to make a couple of people a moderator. All right, that's what I'm going to do. I think I figured out how to do it. Let's see if I can. I don't know how to do it. It's not as simple as what they told me. Said I'd just be able to click these buttons right here and I can make someone a mod. But all it says is put user on timeout and block user. All right, so we're going to have to figure that out because the way that they said to do it, it ain't doing it for me to make someone a moderator. But I appreciate everybody that's tuned in here. Regardless, we're going to work through it. If we have some of those weird folks back in here, if you haven't already, of course, we got the Locked On 49ers show, myself and Brian Peacock. Make sure y'all listen to that episode. We come at y'all 5 days a week, as well as the Locked On the NFL Draft Show with myself and Ryan Tracy. We come at y'all 5 days a week as well. Keep y'all up to date with everything that's going on pertaining to the draft, man. And you know the crazy thing about the draft? I don't know if it's because the extra week in the NFL regular season or whatever, but that made it to where the Super Bowl was like the middle of February. February is already a short month. It's already, damn. I mean, it's March now, damn near middle of March. The draft is a month away. I feel like that came up super fast. All right. So I appreciate everybody's in the chat, man. Locked On NFL Draft. Go listen to that right now. But let's get into it. Let's get into it first before we get into it. Let me see if I can make somebody a mod. Nope. They said it was as simple as just clicking the little button, the little three little dots on the right side, and then add moderator, but I don't see that. I don't see that right now. So we'll figure out how to do it. I saw that and I was like, oh, that's simple. I'll just wait till everybody's on and I'll add a couple people, but it doesn't look like I'm able to do it. Dirty Sprite 2 is out. See, I'm out the loop, man. I've been doing this, doing that, looking into this, looking into that kind of. I didn't know Dirty Sprite 2 came out. I'm going to have to check that out. Shout out to Future. Quick update on my sports performance facility. I know a lot of y'all, y'all come in here and, I've told everybody about kind of the process behind that, but it's going up right now. Obviously, like they had the dirt work done. Then they came, they did the foundation, everything. They did pour the little concrete around everything. And then now the beams are going up, man. That building is high. It's 40 feet high. So that's pretty awesome. I can't wait. Designed that way on purpose so that, we could throw footballs in there and everything like that. So that's cool. Let's see. Then click the username. All right, I'm going to try to click the username. Oh, nope. That ain't how to do it. That ain't how to do it. But anyways, hope everybody's good in here. I want to circle back around a little bit to yesterday, some of the coaching changes that the 49ers made. All right, Anthony Lynn, a lot of people were like, oh, who's going to be the new running back coach? They lost the running back coach. Well, it looks like Anthony Lynn, which also he is the assistant. He is the assistant coach, head coach. So, yeah, assistant head coach, also a running back coach, which I figured he would be. When I was with the New York Jets, Anthony Lynn was the running back coach. So, that's what he's been. He was that with Buffalo for a while as well. And I'm pretty sure even as a head coach, had a lot to do with the running back room. That's his thing. That's his baby. So no surprise at all that he is the new running back coach for the San Francisco 49ers. Aside from that, there were a few other people that Kyle added that was pretty interesting. One, Leonard Hankerson. Obviously, the 49ers lost their receiver coach, Wes Welker, to the Miami Dolphins for whatever reason. I ain't never dug too deep into exactly why the 49ers lost Wes Welker or why he wanted to go to Miami. I heard different things. Someone said something about family or wanted to get back to them. I don't know. But he's been the 49ers receiver coach. He decided to leave, and they've had Leonard Hankerson on the coaching staff, and now he's been promoted to being the receiver coach. All right. Now, this is a guy who Hankerson has worked his way up. Obviously, he played several years in the NFL. I remember Hankerson from the Miami Dolphins. I remember Hankerson from his stint with the Washington Commanders, back then Redskins. All right. And right after he got done playing, he also played with Kyle Shanahan in Atlanta. So he traveled with Shanahan a little bit between Washington and Atlanta. And then he went on to coach. And this is a guy definitely had to work his way up. Originally was a grad assistant at University of Massachusetts, worked his way up from there to be a receiver coach. Went to coach at Stephen F. Austin. He was a receiver coach there. And then eventually worked his way to being with the 49ers, quality control, and now receiver coach. So Hankerson, this is a guy who definitely has had to work his way up. And I like this. I like the guys like that who I don't want to say like weren't supremely talented or whatever, but it's like he knows all the little of intricacies of really the receiver position and kind of what goes into it, being able to play with your mind. And I like those type of guys to work with guys that have the immense talent. All right, because if you can get the guy with the immense talent to have the mindset of someone that maybe has, I don't want to say overachieve, but I feel like that's what makes for good coaches. So Hankerson, looking at his climb, he probably is someone that is a really good coach. All right, and there was one other name that was pretty interesting as well, Clay Kubiak. All right, Clay Kubiak is someone who he's from the Kubiak family. All right, I believe it's his brother Clint, who is now the offensive coordinator for the Vikings, I believe. But we know the Kubiak family. I mean, Kyle Shanahan. He's under that. Excuse me. Kyle Shanahan's under that tree as well. The Kubiak family. When Kyle Shanahan was coaching for the Houston Texans, well, who was the head coach? I believe it was Kubiak. So I don't think this is like a surprising hire of having a Kubiak on his staff and kind of working his way up. So Kubiak, he is now a part of the 49ers coaching staff as the assistant quarterback coach. If I'm not mistaken, I forgot to write it down here, but I believe it was assistant quarterback coach. So you got Brian Griese, who is now the 49ers quarterback coach, and then Kubiak is assistant head coach. And we talked about the Kubiak thing. If you haven't kind of tuned into that, I went a little bit more in depth in that in a previous episode. I believe it was Monday, and then also a video I put out over the weekend, which I'm a fan of the Brian Griese hire as the quarterback coach. I believe, having someone like him who can see the field and understand what the Shanahans want, but not just that. He's actually gone through it in that process. And I feel like not just understanding the way someone coaches or knowing the offense, but actually going through it yourself and what helped for you, what didn't help, what you wish you could do better from an athletic standpoint. Maybe didn't have the traits that Trey Lance has. And if you can get Trey Lance to have the mindset that you had to be able to play in the NFL for 11 years, also several years under the Shanahans, whether it was in Denver or for who was the team he was with Kyle Shanahan. Gosh, can't think. Oh, Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Being under the Shanahans for that many years, I think that's going to be like big for Griese to truly understand. Hey, look, I play for these guys. I understand what they want. I understand how they see it. I'm able to articulate that to young Trey Lance. And we talked about the development of Trey Lance and that of a quarterback coach. Everybody thinks the quarterback coach is supposed to be working on his mechanics. And again, they will touch on those type of things, but I don't think that's the biggest part of the development or job of the quarterback coach is truly to get him to understand what he's seeing on the field, why they're calling certain plays, and really be an extension of Kyle Shanahan, who ultimately is the offensive coordinator. So I think Griese is going to be just fine. I thought originally, man, he's been a little disconnected from football. How's it going to work? How's he going to take to the modern quarterback, right? What these new quarterbacks are, but kind of him being in the college football landscape, covering college football for 11 years. Hearing some of his thoughts on Lamar Jackson and that style of quarterback, I'm fairly confident that this guy is going to come in and do a good job. So shout out to uh, Brian Griese, new 49ers quarterback coach. I think he's going to be solid. I think he's going to be solid. Now, again, you still got to know how to coach, but really being in the room, just being able to talk. Like, listen, I haven't coached at the NFL level. I've coached high school football, but I'm consistently around it. I'm consistently having conversations with people. I can walk in and be a cornerback coach at. I feel like I could be a DB coach in the NFL. Someone's like, "Hey, Croc, when you should be a cornerback coach?" All right, I could do that. And there are different things that I've had to learn along the way, and things where I'm like, man, I used to do it this way, and okay, now they do certain things, but you grow. He'll be fine. He'll be fine. I like this. QB coach, basically inactive backup. Griese seems like a good pick for the job. I think that's one way to put it. All right, man. Here we go. We got 155 people in here already, so let's get started with the show. Hope everybody's doing good. I didn't really check on y'all mental health. All right, kind of getting started, kind of all over the place, trying to figure out how to make people mods and things like that. So far, so good. Knock on wood. All right, no trolls in the chat, but hope everybody's doing good. I saw the flames coming in originally. You already know what it is, man. 5 flames. You feeling great? Anything less than that, we need to talk about it. See my guy Kenneth Goldsmith right here. He's feeling great this morning. Let's go. 5 flames. Rocky Mountain Razorback, 5 flames. So we feeling good this morning. Awesome. And I think a big reason why a lot of people are feeling good is because Russell Wilson is no longer a Seahawk, and he is now currently on the Denver Broncos. Now, one thing about this, originally I was really excited. I'm pretty sure like a lot of you, right? I was sitting down, I was having lunch with some friends. Yeah, I got a few friends out in here in Monticello, Arkansas. All right, but I'm sitting down having lunch, and we're at the Mexican restaurant. I look on the TV, and I'm like, what the hell? Russell Wilson's traded, and they're all looking at me. They don't watch football. They don't care. Matter of fact, most people in the Arkansas, they love the Razorbacks, but they're like NFL. It feels like they don't really watch NFL like that. There's no NFL team here for them. Even though they got NFL teams all around them. You got the Dallas Cowboys that's 4 hours away. You got the Kansas City Chiefs 5 hours away. You got the New Orleans Saints 5 hours away. But they don't. They just love their Razorbacks. All right, but anyway, so they didn't care. But they see me like, okay, that must be a big deal. Russell Wilson's traded, whatever that means. So now I'm searching, what is he traded for? And you see 2 1s, 2 2s. Shelby Harris, who a lot of people, they're like viewing this as like throwaway players for whatever reason. Like, oh man, they didn't get enough back. Just 2 1s, 2 2s. That's not enough. Well, Shelby Harris, he's a starting tackle, starting defensive tackle. I like Shelby Harris. And maybe I pay more attention to Shelby Harris because I know his wife. Me and his wife go back. She's tight with my big brother. So I've been around her, work out together. She's like really in tune with being in shape and all that type of stuff. But Shelby Harris, I message her all the time. I thought he was going to get big money a year or so ago. He didn't end up getting it. And I messaged her like, man, he going to get the money. Don't worry about woo. And whenever he's doing something in games, I always notice it. And I always, message her like, oh man, I see him woo. And Shelby Harris is a good football player. So I get it. Maybe you can look at Drew Lock and we don't know what he is, but Shelby Harris, he's a legit starting defensive tackle. All right. So on top of getting 2 1s, 2 2s, and one of those ones is the 9th overall pick. Like that's high on the when you look at the value chart of a one. This is not a situation like the. Oh, 1 second, y'all. What's up, babe?
I just want to see if you started yet.
Started. I think that dress looks good.
It's longer than the other one.
All right. Let me see that booty though.
Hey.
Ooh, there we go, right there. Okay, yeah, it looks good. We're going to New Orleans for my wife's birthday. So going out there to celebrate. She's getting these dresses. I got a couple dresses. She didn't like the way they fit. And then just now she tried on the new dress and I'm like, looks good. Booty looks good. All that stuff looks good. Let's go. All right. But anyways, where was I? I lost my train of thought. Wife got me all flustered and stuff. You know what I'm saying? Looking all good. But Shelby Harris. Shelby Harris is a legit starter. He's a legit starter in the NFL. So I kind of like that. Now, again, you look at the 2 1s, 2 2s. That one of those ones is the 9th overall pick. Now, the following year is probably not going to be as high. All right. But when you look at like the 49ers and trading stuff for Trey Lance, and obviously you swap those first picks, right? So the 49ers went from pick 12 to pick 3. That's a wash with that first, right? That's a wash. Now the future picks, you're talking about pick 29. 49ers traded pick 29. Like the Broncos, they just traded pick number 9. All right, now you do lose Russell Wilson, and that's tough. But at least you pick high. Now the tough thing is picking high in this class, picking number 9 overall. There's no quarterback that's gonna come in and really be that guy. So what the hell are they gonna do with these picks? And you hear Richard Sherman. Richard Sherman talks about it like this was a play for Deshaun Watson. I see other people kind of bring that to my attention. This is a play for Deshaun Watson. And now I'm scared. I don't want to say scared, but now I'm like, damn, what do they know that we don't know? The Deshaun Watson thing is going to happen. As a matter of fact, I brought up before we got all weird yesterday with the trolls that came in here. I talked about how, hey, some quarterback things are going to have to start to fall into place, before we kind of really know what Jimmy Garoppolo's trade value is. Right. And I was like, Russell Wilson, what's going to happen with him? And somebody in here, I don't remember who it was. We can go back and look at the live chat from yesterday. But someone in here said, Russell Wilson ain't going nowhere. Well, a few hours later, Russell Wilson was traded. And on top of that, the other domino fell with Aaron Rodgers. So right now, you got Russell gone. You got Aaron Rodgers gone. So who are the quarterback needy teams? And what quarterbacks are available for them? They are going to wait for Deshaun Watson. That's probably what the Seahawks are going to do. If I'm the Seahawks and Deshaun Watson, the situation is not played out how they would want, like, or whatever, I maybe trade back. I maybe try to trade that other first or whatever. Like, I'm trying to move some things around to where I'm able to be in position, even if it's next year, to go trade for Deshaun Watson. All right. That situation, I don't know how it's going to play out. It's a weird thing. It seems like Deshaun Watson, he believes he's innocent, and he's not just paying this thing to go away. He's like, no, I'm innocent. Because it sounds like if he wanted to, he could have settled already. And then he probably would have had to face some kind of discipline from the NFL. But he has not settled. I don't think he intends to. Sounds like he intends to ride this out and say, listen, I'm innocent. Now, not to, get off track here with Deshaun Watson, but regardless of whatever with the Deshaun Watson situation, it's weird as fuck to have that many masseuses or masseuse, whatever. To have that many people giving you massages. Like, that's hella weird. Like, there's like 20-something people that came through with the claim, and then they had 20 more masseuses come through and like claim like, oh no, I had a great experience with him. Like, no, everything was fine. And it's like, bro, why do you have 40? Why do you have like 40 plus people give you massages? Like, that's weird to me. So I don't know. Maybe he's innocent, but there's some weird shit going on. All right. The crazy thing is the NFL, they provide masseuses for you. Now, when all this is going on, I don't know. When I was with the New York Jets, you had your massage times or whatever. You come in, there'd be like multiple beds set up, multiple the massage table things. You lay on there and you get rubbed down and everything. You know what I'm saying? And not rubbed down like that, but like, get your massage and everything. What kind of massage you want? You want the one they really get in there? You want whatever it is. They do all that for you and you're good to go. He was on some different stuff. So I don't know. The Jets had it lined up for us, ready to go. You walk into the room, it's a dark room. They got the little rocks and water flowing and stuff, and then you got somebody give you a massage. But I don't know. It was a little weird. But anyways, hopefully he's innocent. And when I mean innocent, like hopefully he didn't do the things that they are claiming he did, and he can move on with his life and get everything situated and move on with his NFL career, because he's kind of being forgotten when it comes to the young, dynamic quarterbacks. He's one of the best young quarterbacks in the league. Before that whole thing happened, he was, top 5 quarterback in the league. And then the weird thing jumped off. Me love you long time. All right, but is that what the Seahawks are doing? Are the Seahawks putting themselves in position to be able to trade for Deshaun Watson? If so, man, that's tough. Tough on the 49ers. You get rid of Russell Wilson and then get someone who's like a younger version of Russell Wilson. All right, anyways, let's move on. J.C. Jackson. All right, appreciate everybody's in the chat right now. Hit the like button, hit the subscribe button. Almost 300 of y'all in here. Appreciate each and every one of you. J.C. Jackson. There was a rumor or someone tweeted out yesterday. It looked like a credible source. All right, saying that the 49ers were interested in J.C. Jackson along with other people. All right, now I quote tweeted it and was like, well, 49ers want to make this happen. They might need to get that $25 million off their books. We know who we're talking about. All right, but a lot of the responses I got back were 49ers wouldn't do that. 49ers wouldn't pay money. They wouldn't go out there. Oh, they gotta pay this guy. They gotta do that. They gotta do that. 49ers wouldn't go and get JC Jackson. All right. And here we go. It was Jordan Schultz. Credible report. Okay, there we go. So that's good. All right. Now, I gotta ask y'all a question, and y'all let me know. Y'all let me know. When have the 49ers regime that's in there right now, the front office, ever been shy about paying someone? When has this group ever been shy about being aggressive? You know, I think sometimes, people, fans, people that cover the 49ers, whatever it is, I think if the 49ers front office don't make the moves that you want them to make, then maybe they come off as not being aggressive because they didn't make this move. But if you look at them over time, whether it's through the draft, whether even through free agency at times, or different guys that they've had to acquire and pay, they have been extremely aggressive. They've been extremely aggressive with trades. They just traded fucking how many picks to go up and get Trey Lance? On top of that, they've done that consistently throughout a lot of drafts. They've been very aggressive. Again, is it the guy that you wanted? I don't know. But trading up for Reuben Foster, and they were trying to trade up for him in the teens. Obviously, he lasted to pick 30. They traded up for him. All right. Trading up for Dante Pettis. Trading up for they've done so many trades. And not just that. Look at some of the free agents. And this is not due diligence. I see somebody put down in the chat. Kyle Juszczyk, free agent. Off top, made him the highest paid fullback in the NFL. All right. Off top, Jerick McKinnon made him high paid. They paid Jerick McKinnon a lot of money. Like, they wanted Jerick McKinnon. They paid him a lot of money. At one point, Jerick McKinnon was one of the higher paid running backs in the league. All right. He made a lot of money off the top of that deal. All right. Trent Williams. They traded for Trent Williams, knowing eventually they were going to have to pay him. They made him the highest paid guy in the league. Guys that they've had to groom, Fred Warner, made him the highest paid guy. Like, D Ford, all right? They had to trade a second-round pick for D Ford. That's not aggressive? And then on top of that, knowing, hey, if we trade for D Ford, we also got to sign him. They traded a second-round pick for him, and boom, made him one of the higher paid edge rushers in the league. So the 49ers, if they want a guy, they will be aggressive. They will be aggressive. Right here, Pierre Garçon. They paid him like $15, $16 million a year. They paid Pierre Garçon a lot of money. They paid him a lot of money. So where is this that the 49ers don't like to spend money in free agency and all that? Now, if you want to say that maybe they don't want to sign a cornerback, not for stars, agent stars. Listen, they paid guys. We can't move the goalposts. Rude Boy Raw, we can't move the goalposts. They have been aggressive when they want a guy, they do whatever to get him. That guy ends up being a 49er. Now, the question is, do the 49ers want J.C. Jackson? I don't know. Sounds like there's some interest there. But if they do want J.C. Jackson, they will pay him. I don't think money will be an issue. Now, I know there are people, well, they got other guys that they got to sign, whatever. Well, you know what? Yeah, you gotta sign Deebo Samuel down the line, Nick Bosa and all that. I mean, you can push some of those things down, but here's the thing. While you have a rookie quarterback on that contract, This is the time to load up. This is the time when you can go out and spend all this money on these guys, including guys like JC Jackson, you think is going to potentially help put you over the top. Because by the time you got to pay your young quarterback, well, JC Jackson, that's going to be the tail end of his contract, as well as the other guys, as well as George Kittle, Debo Samuel. By the time you have to pay your young quarterback, those guys, that money is starting to come off the books. All right. So again, 49ers, they are aggressive. What guys that they want to be aggressive with? Richard Sherman. All right. Now, I know there were different ways that they structured it, and he had these different incentives and stuff like that, but there was a way that he can make up to what, $13, $15 million a year. And they had to pay him. He made all pro. And they had to pay him. And they were aggressive with getting Richard Sherman. Okay, he was coming off an injury, but they made it happen. And it was a good amount of money for him if he ended up being who he felt like he could be, and he was. He made the all-pro team. He got paid. All right, they had to pay him. They didn't even, it was like Richard Sherman was let go by the Seahawks on Monday. By Tuesday, the 49ers were meeting with him and signing him. The 49ers are they are very aggressive. So again, they won't be cheap if they have to go and get a guy like JC Jackson. Now, will they get a cornerback? Because that's the other thing I hear a lot of. Well, are they going to be willing to get a cornerback? They don't do that. They don't pay cornerbacks. Let's talk about that. Now, I've been one, and those of you who have listened to me consistently, I've talked about how I think that the 49ers, the way they've kind of gone about this cornerback situation is solid. I look at the total points. I see the 49ers have done a good job of limiting teams. I think they've done a good job of, kind of making it to where, okay, we don't have these high-priced cornerbacks, whether, Mosley, Ambry Thomas, and these guys or whatever. But, hey, we're playing good football defensively. All right? So, and real quick, let me get to the super chat before I kind of get on my rant here. Then said they have budgeted for Jimmy G while extending Debo and Bosa. So, all assume that they're getting rid of Jimmy will allow us to get JC Jackson. Yeah. And I think Lynch, again, I don't know how many of y'all know, man, you guys, have your businesses or even places that you work or, trying to figure out different ways, pay bills, whatever it is. You think of plan A, plan B, plan C, all the different scenarios that can work out, right? And within those scenarios, some of them might be something that you don't want to do, but it's just like, it's the last case scenario. Like, we don't want to have to get here. Hopefully we don't get here. And I think that's keeping Jimmy Garoppolo. They do not want to have to keep Jimmy Garoppolo. You have to consider it a possibility. And you have to say, well, worst case scenario, we do have to keep him. It'll look like this. You know what I'm saying? There has to be that possibility. But I don't think that's what they want to do. So, okay, have they budgeted for him? I think he kind of has to say that. And on paper, maybe they have. But, yeah, I don't know. I don't know about that one. But I appreciate the contribution, Jeep Crack Hawk. Will the 49ers be aggressive with getting a cornerback? All right, here's the thing y'all need to think about. Everybody talks about the 49ers maybe not drafting corners high. Everybody talks about the 49ers not spending a lot of money on cornerbacks or whatever. Let's look at their situations. The first year they go into it, obviously they had Dante Johnson and they had Mantis, Rashard Robinson. Clearly it wasn't the guy. Rashard Robinson was traded away by the middle of the year. All right, like right before the trade deadline or whatever. They traded him away for and got a fifth in return, which I thought was good, trading him to the Jets. All right, that offseason coming up, they drafted Kelly Witherspoon. And so there are some people, 49ers are picking at 61, right? And people are like, oh, 49ers pick 61. They second round, they won't draft a corner. Well, Kelly Witherspoon was literally taken 2 picks later or 3 picks later. Like, Witherspoon was like one of the first picks of, if not the first pick of the 3rd round. So they are definitely, willing to draft a cornerback in that range. I think if the opportunity presented itself, they draft a corner even higher. But they drafted, and you got to look at how that draft shaked out, right? How did that draft shake out with getting the Kelly Witherspoon? It was that 2017? Because they were bad. Gosh, I'm getting my years mixed up. 2017. Yeah, because Rashard Robinson, okay, I'm getting my years mixed up. So 2017, they drafted Ahkello Witherspoon and pretty high. All right, and that was with them having Rashard Robinson and Dante Johnson. Rashard Robinson got traded. Uh, Witherspoon ended up starting down the stretch. Awesome. All right, now going into the next year, what they do? 2018, immediately went and got Richard Sherman. All right, Richard Sherman that year. So he was coming off an injury, but they paid him good money if he was who they thought he could be, which eventually he was. All right, so there's that element of it. So people think it was just, oh, they don't want to address corner. They addressed it in that first draft, in the draft where they drafted Solomon Thomas and then Reuben Foster, and then they went and got Ahkello Witherspoon. I feel like that was as high as they could really draft a corner. All right, and then the next offseason, boom, they go out, they go get Richard Sherman. Okay, boom. They were aggressive with that move. As soon as he was a free agent, they went and they got him. All right. Now, going into the following year, so this 2019, why do they need to draft a corner high? But one thing they did do is they got Verrett. We'll see what happens with him. All right. But that I don't think there was a time where they could draft a corner high in 2019. Why would you? You got Ahkello Witherspoon. You got Emmanuel Mosley, who, we'll see what he ends up being. You got Jason Verrett, and you got Richard Sherman. And then, obviously the season went great. 49ers went to the Super Bowl. The following year, is this a time to get a corner in the draft? Is this a time to be aggressive in free agency? When you got Ahkello Witherspoon coming back, you got Emmanuel Mosley coming back, who had finished that previous year, the Super Bowl year, very strong. He was a starting corner. Yeah, Richard Sherman, who was an all-pro. Do you draft corner in 2020? I don't think so. I know there are a lot of people like, oh, well, they could have gotten who was it, man? They could have gotten Trevon Diggs in the second round. Okay, well, maybe they could have gotten Trevon Diggs, but they ended up, and I don't know why my screen is kind of glitching. I don't know if it's glitching for y'all, but as I'm watching it, it's kind of glitching. But they could have got Trevon Diggs. Okay, you go and get Trevon Diggs, but Witherspoon has proven he can start games. Emmanuel Mosley has proven he can start games. Richard Sherman is coming off of an all-pro year. And they brought back Jason Verrett. Do you draft? Are they not being aggressive with addressing the cornerback position? Because they have all those guys in place, and they don't want to draft for Trevon Diggs to play over Mosley, who finished the season strong. Sherman coming off an all-pro season. Ahkello Witherspoon, who shows he can start. We'll see if he can become more aggressive, and they're letting him compete for a starting job. Like, I don't think that should have been the time to draft corner high. Got a super chat here. Are there certain positions you prefer to sign in free agency versus draft and develop? Are certain positions harder to project? How good? You know what? That's a great question. Let me start that. I'm going to get back to that question because I'm going to get back to that question. So I don't lose my train of thought here. I just started, so I'll get right as soon as I get done with this little rant. But so you look at the only time that the 49ers could potentially draft a corner, quote unquote, high was maybe 2021, the previous draft, where you're looking at it, right? But I look at it again. You had Jason Verrett coming off of a great year. Feel like he was a top 10 corner. All right, he played great. You had Emmanuel Mosley, who you're like, all right, we think Emmanuel Mosley is good. We got two starting corners. Now, you say, you know what? I don't care that you got two starting corners. Let's draft a cornerback first round. Well, you can't trade it. You're going to get a quarterback. You're going to get Trey Lance. You got your quarterback of the future. All right. Well, okay. No, you know what? We'll draft a cornerback second round. Again, if you draft that corner second round, you have him in your minds. He's going to come in and he's going to play over Verrett or Mosley. All right. Well, I feel like the 49ers are confident that they had two starting cornerbacks. So what they do, they took two corners, one in the third, one in the fifth. I think that if there is a time for the 49ers to be aggressive at the cornerback position, it would have to be something drastic like a J.C. Jackson. But aside from that, I don't see the 49ers doing anything too crazy. Now, the only way that they can is if Ambry Thomas shows up to OTAs and he just looks bad. He looks like he hasn't taken any steps forward. He's getting beat in with shorts and t-shirts, shorts and t-shirts and in OTAs, doing all that. He's getting beat. He's getting dogged. Then it's just like, you know what? He hasn't taken steps in the right direction. I think we got to go corner high. That's the only way I see the 49ers do it. And even then, how can they do it? They don't pick it till 61. And I'm not for just forcing a position just because. I think you take the highest player on your draft board, whether that's an edge, whether that's a receiver, whether that's an offensive lineman, whether that's a cornerback, whether it's a safety, whatever. Who's the highest guy on your board? 49ers can improve at that position, I'm sure. So I know a lot of people feel like the 49ers wouldn't be aggressive with addressing the cornerback position. I think when they've needed to be aggressive with addressing it, they've tried to. But again, I think if it's not the guy that the fans want, sometimes it comes off as if maybe they're not being aggressive enough. Clearly, we've seen a lot of different examples of how aggressive the 49ers have been with this new regime with Kyle Shanahan and John Lynch running the show and Adam Peters. Appreciate everybody that's in the chat right now. Hit that like button, hit the subscribe button, all 350 of y'all. Y'all know what to do, man. Now you guys can come on live. And here's the chat. Here's the link right here. Let me title it real quick. Come on live. There's the link. Y'all know what to do, man. Hit that button. I got my headphones connected. Answer the super chat, Croc. Here we go. All right, and it was this one, right? Make sure I'm answering the right one. All right. Are there certain positions you prefer to sign in free agency versus draft and develop? Or certain positions harder to project how good they'll be? You know, I think with all of them, it's kind of a, I won't say it's a crapshoot, but you kind of never know. And we've seen some guys, you know, come in right away, be good, offensive line. Like, I think there are maybe safer positions. They're supposed to be safer, like a guard. A guard, no matter where you draft, is supposed to be able to come in and kind of play. As we've seen with Aaron Banks, that might not always be the truth, right? I think one of the hardest positions to come in, you know, and play right away and play good is probably cornerback. We've seen guys, even over the last couple of years, guys that have ended up being really good, right? Well, you know, Trevon Diggs gave up a lot of yards, but he made a lot of plays, 11 interceptions. Well, he was up and down as a rookie. AJ Terrell, another guy, kind of up and down as a rookie. He played terrific. He was one of the best young corners in the league this past year. So I think cornerback is kind of hard to come in and play right away, but you definitely can develop into being good. Now, what's good to me might be different than what's good to fans, because we've seen fans, their patience for the development of a corner who's probably going to get beat regardless, because it's just so hard to play cornerback in the NFL. Fans don't have much patience for it. So all fans, they want a corner, but I'm telling you, as soon as you draft a corner high and he gets beat, he sucks. He's this, he's that, he's trash. He can't cover a receiver in a phone booth. You're going to hear all these bad things, but it's just tough playing the cornerback position. Most cornerback, you know when cornerbacks are really good? I'll tell you when corners are really good. When you don't have to watch them every week. We don't have to watch him every week. So I see Patrick Surtain, he's a beast, and he's tight. But I mean, I've seen Patrick Surtain get dogged last year too. Wasn't it Devontae Smith that dunked on him in the end zone? Need that touchdown. Like, you know, it happens. But when you don't watch a guy every week, you know, and you might tune in the game here and it's like, wow, he looked great in that game. There's games you can put on where I thought Ambry Thomas looked great. But if you watch him on a consistent basis, you can point out all the times where it's like, there's some rough spots. I think he can develop into somebody good. Ambry Thomas has all the traits to be good. He has all the traits to be good. But I think receiver is another position that's kind of hard to come in and be good right away, depending on, you know, the offense and the situation. If you go back to like Deebo Samuel's rookie year, I remember him talking about it kind of midway through the year. Like, he never thought he would pick up the offense. Maybe it was at the end of the year he talked about it. He didn't think he would ever pick up the offense. It was so difficult. Receivers coming into the NFL have a lot to worry about. They have a lot of things on their plate. All these different sight adjustments. You got motions. You got this. You got that. The defense is different. You got all these different, like, it's much harder transition. As a matter of fact, receiver, aside from quarterback, might be one of the more difficult positions to kind of transition into the NFL with. But you can develop it. And I think as far as drafting and developing, that could be any position. It's just how soon does it click for that guy? How soon does it click for him to understand the professional he has to be? How soon does it click for him to really grasp what it is? And the sooner he does, the faster he can play. And at any position, I think that translates well. Here we go. Got my guy, George. How you doing, bro? I'm good, but I could barely hear you.
Oh, I got my speaker on. Let me switch my headphones. Go somewhere and go to somebody else and then come back to me. I'm about to put my
All
headphones.
right, I got you. All right, here we go. Got my guy Medic Mike. Medic Mike, good morning, bro.
Hey, good morning, Croc. How you doing?
Oh, I'm doing good, man. I'm blessed. How you doing this morning?
I'm good, man. I'm good. I'm feeling good. Couple things I want to address. First, the Niners not being aggressive. No, stop. I think we have a lot of recency bias when it comes to that. I mean, just like you said, we gave up a second and gave D Ford all that money. Quan Alexander got the bag from us. We gave him a ton of money. We went out and got Trent Williams in a trade.
Forgot
And
about
then
that. They made Quan Alexander the highest paid linebacker in the league at that time.
yeah, I think he got a 5 for 85 contract.
Crazy, yeah.
Yeah, and then we went out and get Trent Williams via trade, make him the highest paid left tackle. We gave Jerick McKinnon a lot of money, especially he hadn't even been healthy up to that point. We made Juice the highest paid fullback. So I think we're selective in who we like. But when we like you, we're going to give you that money. We're not shy about giving you that money. As far as J.C. Jackson goes, love the player. I'd be real happy if we could get him. However, not at the cost of Laken Tomlinson. I think that's a more important position for us to shore up, especially you have Trey Lance coming in. I think you need to build that continuity. Laken has not missed a game for us. He's been an Iron Man. We see how injuries can decimate a team. And so if getting J.C. Jackson is at the cost of Laken Tomlinson, then I'm not on board because I think our defense did their job and then some last year. And if you project any type of growth and development from your young corners, from your Diamador Lenore, from Ambry Thomas, from Hufunga, then you should be looking at an even better secondary. Now, I think we have the cap space to get them both. They just raised the cap by $25 million, and that plus what you're going to be saving by trading Jimmy should give you that space where you can keep them both. But that's my take on it. I do like that J.C. Jackson takes the ball away, but let's not forget, I mean, it's not a one player solves the entire defense. The Bills dropped 47 points on the Patriots in the playoffs. So just having J.C. Jackson doesn't just solve all your problems.
I talk about that all the time. You know, is everybody, they think that cornerback, like just having somebody that's a big time cornerback on your team fixes all issues. And I think that game is proof that, like, I mean, Josh Allen threw 4 incompletions. He threw 5 touchdowns. He threw more touchdowns than incompletions in the game against a good Patriots defense. And I think the 49ers, I mean, they gave up 47 points throughout the entire postseason. And they played against some really good quarterbacks. So.
Yep. But yeah, that's my take on it. I'm also glad Seattle's seems to be blowing everything up. Russ, bye-bye. Bye-bye.
Did you see the like Trent Williams and those guys' comments?
Oh, yes. Trent Williams and Jimmy Ward were they were basically like, yeah, you're not going to be missed around here.
Yeah, you won't be missed.
Nah. Oh, also when I looked at that receiver from Baylor, what's his name? Taekwon. Yes, Thornton.
Taekwon Thornton.
I gotta say, I was a little impressed. I didn't expect him to be. He was very good at the catch point. I didn't see a single ball get into his body. He used his hands. He had soft hands. I was more impressed than I thought I was going to be watching his film.
We had the same reaction. And when you see a guy run a 4.28 or whatever, you're just thinking, oh, just speed guy. And then obviously coming from Baylor, you're thinking, okay, speed guy, Baylor, tall, skinny, lean, Denzel Mims, right? But no, he plays much faster than I think Mims ever did. I think he has a little bit more twitch. Mims was really stiff. I wasn't high. Matter of fact, in that class, I have my rankings somewhere. I had Mims the 14th best receiver in that class, where a lot of people were really higher on him. I didn't care for him at all. But yeah, Taekwon Thornton, that's a guy who plays as fast as his 40. There are some people that run a 40, but it's like he play that fast. I mean, even in the red zone, I mean, we're talking about on like the 5-10 yard line, he still runs away from guys across the field because he's just too fast. And he consistently got behind defenders. I was looking at it like, man, he went to short areas, slants, all that good stuff. But if he can win, like if he can be that guy for like the 49ers and get behind defense and have Trey Lance, who has a big arm, throw it out there, I mean, that could be crazy. So I know a lot of 49 fans are like, who? We want Christian Watson. And I get you. But man, this Taekwon Thornton, we'll see. Hopefully he didn't run his way out of range of 49ers, because he's someone that could be a big time difference maker and bring an element that the 49ers just do not have. Do not. And I like that you talked about the hands, soft hands, catching the ball away from his body. I mean, there was really a lot to like about his game. A guy who I had no idea who he was heading into the combine.
Yeah, no kidding. Especially if he has short area quickness. You put someone like that in the slot, because one thing I did notice is that he had a little bit of trouble with press, and he has a very lean build. But you put him in the slot,
6'2",
you have
185 or something like that.
Yeah. You know who I thought I was going to see? Do you remember a dude, Yamon Figures, out of Kansas State? He was a returner for Baltimore. He ran a 4.2, like taller dude. That's what I thought I was going to see when I was watching this dude. Nope, this dude could play. He could ball in a move offense like Kyle Shanahan's. You got this dude moving all over the place, and you put him in positions where dudes can't get their hands on him. You got your deep threat because he makes people look slow.
Yeah, consistently gets behind guys. But all right, man, Medic Mike, I'm gonna get to the next callers. I appreciate you coming on, bro.
Appreciate you, Croc.
All right,
man.
Yeah, Medic Mike ain't lying, man. That dude, he's fast and he plays fast. There are a lot of people that, like, some guys, they run good 40 times, but it's like, all right, but do you play as fast as your 40 time? And Tyquan Thornton, he definitely does. You just need a big arm quarterback to get the ball out there. You know who he remind me of? And I know Medic Mike just said Figures, but he also remind me of like Mike Wallace. He remind me a lot of Mike Wallace. Here we go. We got George. You back on. How's the sound? You good?
Yeah, it's good now. Can you hear me?
Yes, sir. Gotcha.
Yeah, he also reminded me of Percy Harvin too. If you think about it, I mean, Percy Harvin was slightly taller than him, but he can get behind the defense, super fast. Huh?
He wasn't tall. He's not. Percy Harvin taller than who? Thornton?
Yeah, he's slightly taller than him. I don't know. Let me check that height. Let me check the height.
Was like 5'11".
How tall was Percy?
He was like 5'11".
You sure? I really thought Percy Harvin was like 6'1" or 6'2". He looked like he's like 6'2". Wow, but yeah, he's just like Percy Harvin, can get behind the defense, and if you got a quarterback that can get the ball out, and we do now, and can get it deep, that would be a good asset for the Niners to get. So if Kyle's listening, mark him on your board.
Yeah,
I know Baylor have very fast receivers, and a lot of receivers that come from Baylor is very quick. But I didn't come to talk about that. I'm happy that Russell Wilson is gone. That man have ruined my Sunday so many times when we play the Seahawks. Like, I'm happy he's gone, man. Like, I'm excited that he's gone. Seattle's going down the drain. Who is their next quarterback?
Well, it sounds like people think it's Deshaun Watson.
Deshaun Watson got all that legal issues. How is it going to be Deshaun?
They're putting themselves in position to where if it plays out well, they can go get him.
Oh.
I know. That was my reaction too. I know.
Yeah, I'm confused. Like, how is that going to happen? Like, what?
Yeah. Not ideal for the 49ers.
That's not ideal. I don't want to do it. That's like
in the chat. See somebody in the chat say Willis. I don't think it'll be a rookie. I think I think they're going all in on trying to get Deshaun Watson. They're probably hoping that the situation plays out sooner. They might know more about the situation than we do, and I think that's the route they're trying to go.
So, I mean, who got a bigger contract, Deshaun Watson or Russell Wilson? I think they both got equal amount of contracts. So, I mean, like, even if they get Deshaun Watson, they're still not able to fix their defense. Their defense is still their weakest link. And the offensive line is bad, too. So, I don't know. I don't think Pete Carroll is going to get Deshaun. I mean, it's impossible. Deshaun Watson got all that legal issues, and he hasn't figured any of them out yet. And it's still in limbo. I don't know how's that going to happen. It's going to be tough. I'm hoping they don't get him. I'm praying to God that they don't get him because I don't want to deal with him. He's a younger Russell. He's a younger and bigger Russell Wilson. But
yeah, taller for sure.
Have you heard anything about Trey Lance? Who he's training with right now?
I think it's John Beck out in LA.
Is John Beck? Yeah. Are they working on his accuracy or his ball touchment?
Well, yeah. I mean, I'm pretty sure you work on all that, and you want to work on really good habits. I think that's kind of the best way to put it. Good habits. Is it Tom House? Is he working with Tom House? I saw he was working out in L.A. and I assume that it was
Oh, okay.
that.
Bec-
Okay. Oh
because
wait, he's
I'm
working with Tom House.
yeah,
Wow.
because
I didn't know that.
Grant said Tom House. Because Grant said Tom House. I thought he'd already done with John Beck. That's why I was a little bit confused. Cause he already
Which
went and
which
trained with
makes
John
sense
Beck.
because Beck is under contract with the New York Jets. So I didn't
Hmm.
know how that worked. I'm like, how's he able to still train guys? But all right, so yeah, if it's Tom House, then awesome. And we know his kind of background on working with coaches. But George, I'm gonna get you out of here and get the next caller on, man. I
Yeah,
appreciate you
yeah.
coming on.
Take care. Hey man,
All
go
right,
Croc. Take care, brother.
go Croc. I like I like that. All right, you
All
have a good
right.
one.
Yep.
All right, here we go. My guy George, he's always looking like hella happy. Somebody, I remember last time George was on, someone said he looked like he just won something. Croc, would you take a chance on Verrett again at the right deal coming off of the ACL? It's such a big risk, but big reward. Yeah, I mean, I would bring him in. I would bring him in. It would definitely be like a vet minimum, and that'll probably be his last chance. But 49ers right now, you want depth. Even if you feel like going into the season, we got Mosley, you got Ambry Thomas, you want to give a guy like Verrett a chance, and you kind of just throw more resources at the position, draft a couple guys. Yeah, I wouldn't be opposed to that at all. He's not a guy where I'd be like, nah, you don't want him. Obviously, you hope he would stay healthy, but this is probably Verrett's last kind of kick at it. All right, his last chance. Appreciate the contribution here. See somebody say, how do I call in? I'll post a link in a second. All right, here we go. Coming on now. I got my guy, Nice. Nice. Am I saying
Yeah,
that right?
K
Nikki?
nice, K nice. Yeah.
Okay, nice. All right, there we go. You gotta put
Hey,
like a
what up,
space
man?
in between that or something. How you doing this morning?
Good, man. Man, I agree with you with the cornerback position. I played corner and receiver in college, and corner is hard, man. It's a tough
Yeah.
position. It's tough to find guys that can be at that next level. And I think, depth wise, I'm with you. I think we do need some depth. I think we do need to bring Barrett back, maybe draft a guy, late to come in and compete. For me, my biggest thing is this year's offense. We got to score points. Man, I think our defense has been really good. I think offensively we got to score points. And my big two keys to that is, one of them is up in there. I think we got to get Mostert back. I think a healthy Mostert compared with Mitchell, man, because Mostert opens up so much more because he's just such a threat to go to the house every single time.
Yeah.
But like I said, we have to sign him. And then my other biggest thing is receiver. And some people probably kick back at me because some people hate Jimmy, but I think it's part Jimmy, part receiver. I think we got to get one of our receivers to consistently beat man-to-man coverage. And I think Jimmy also didn't do a good job of finding guys, but I also think our receivers didn't always do a good job of consistently beating man-to-man coverage. I think when we had our best offensive year, that Super Bowl run, and Jimmy had his best statistical year, was because we had Manuel Sanders. And so he consistently beat man-to-man coverage. So when guys loaded the box up, we can just hit him on a slant, a curl. So I think one of our receivers, I think it's probably going to be Ayuk, has to take that next step and just be able to consistently beat man-to-man coverage. Because then I think that'll open up Kittle too. Because I think tight end is an easy position to take away, and I think a lot of teams are just taking Kittle away and saying we'll deal with the outside guys. One, partly because of Jimmy, but I also think our receivers are a part of that. So to me, offense this offseason has to be the focus. Everybody's talking about corner. And I think we're fine defense. We just need some depth. But we got to figure out a way to score points. We got to put points on the board to help our defense out going into this new season.
Yeah, man, I agree. I think the 49ers defense definitely played well enough to win a lot of games, and
we were straight.
They had a couple of letdowns. I mean, the one that comes to mind the most is like the second Cardinals game with Colt McCoy. Like that was a big letdown. Like the defense played like ass. All right.
Yeah.
But aside from that, I thought for the most part, the defense played well enough to win. And I think a lot of the numbers reflect that. I think them being top 10 in yards against and scoring defense. I mean, I think that reflects that. I think, giving up 47 total points in the playoffs, I think that reflects that. The 49ers defense definitely played well enough to win. How can the 49ers get more explosive on offense? Now, it might be as simple as, well, having a Trey Lance back there, you just end up having a more explosive offense in general, right?
Right.
Will he be that right away? That's going to be the big question. Maybe not, but you hope that he grows into that as the season goes on. But yeah, I agree with the receivers. And I think, if there is that pure separator, and guys win in different ways. And I always try to remember that. If you look at Deebo Samuel, he's not the biggest of separation type receiver, but he wins very well with body positioning and then his run after catch. If he could just win inside right now, he's definitely good enough to catch the ball. And we've seen how he can run away from guys.
Yeah.
Also, Brandon Ayuk, I think he can be a little bit more consistent with separating, but when he's on, he's on. And I don't know if sometimes he kind of checks out. I don't want to put that on him, but we've seen him be able to win. And I think somebody on the last show talked about how Brandon Ayuk, he was like, Brandon Ayuk's dad could do what Odell Beckham's dad did and just show all the times his son is open and he just gets missed. So, I think they got the right guys in there. I would love for them to add like a pure speed guy. And I talked about Tyquan Thornton out of Baylor. Obviously ran extremely fast, but I thought he was much more than just a speed guy. I thought he showed some twitch. I thought he showed clearly some ability to win vertically. And if you add that type of element to a 49ers offense and they just have all these weapons, I think the 49ers offense goes from, man, it's a really good offense. They lean on the run game, all that, to being like, dude, we can score in 2 plays. And that would be exciting to see with the 49ers offense. So we'll see if they kind of get to more of that, man. But K Nice, I appreciate you coming on, man. I'm going to get to the next
Appreciate it. All
right. Here we go. Coming on now. I got my guy Brooks. Brooks, good morning.
What's good,
Shout out
bro?
to my ball brothers. I know I got the hat on, but I'm ball with you, bro.
That's right. I got to freshen mine up later, but
yeah.
Man. Oh, the reference when I said we playing Dirty Sprite 2, I'm like, man, that came out 2015.
Oh, okay. Yeah, Dirty Sprite. Okay, Dirty Sprite.
That's the one
okay,
with commas on it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, I got you. I'm like, wait, did the new Dirty Sprite? I'm throwing up. I'm like, did the new Dirty Sprite come out? I just,
we celebrating Wilson being gone.
Flip flops. Yeah, I listen to that.
Yeah.
I listen to that.
Yeah, we need. I'm just celebrating. Wilson is gone because he's driven me crazy. Since
Okay. Okay, now I got you.
Yeah, man.
Okay, listen. Sometimes I'm a little slow. My bad. I'm thinking Future came out with something new, and I'm like, I don't already listen to Dirty Sprite.
We celebrate.
Well, I got you. Future,
it's March Madness for real.
Baby moms, Russell Wilson, he out of here. I got you. Did you hear about when they played Future at the Seahawks training camp?
Yep.
Yeah, that's wild. That's wild.
It's wild. It was wild for that one. But yeah,
2015, I was on that Dirty Sprite album, Tough. Dirty Sprite 2. Because that was when that was the last year I played. I was with the Sounds Like Sabercats. Yeah, I had that on repeat.
Yeah, that definitely motivation. But yeah, man. I just want to say how it's for as much as Denver got for Wilson. And I think a lot of times with Niners fans that are like I call them the Jimmy G QAnons and stuff, where their perception of Jimmy is different from everyone else's perception of Jimmy or even the reality of Jimmy. And you would think a guy who's done all this winning, and technically you could say he has, as far as in recent time, I think he has more playoff wins than Wilson since he's been with the Niners. Wilson's been on, I guess, somewhat of a drought since then, as far as like playoff success. Jimmy's been to a Super Bowl. He's been to the championship. Wilson can't get past the divisional. And then you look at the wins that he has had, they were kind of gift wrapped to him. Like you played McCown, you played Detroit, you played I forgot who's other.
He lost to McCown.
No, when they played McCown, the Eagles game when Wentz got knocked out in the first play or the first.
Okay, yeah, you talking about the playoffs? Okay, yeah, you talking about that one? Okay, yeah.
Yeah, so it's like you would think if the perception
that was kind of a dirty play by Jadeveon.
Yeah.
We'll go ahead, yeah.
Yeah, but it's like you would think, okay, how come we can't get that from Jimmy? And I think a lot of people understand like the perception of Jimmy is not what you think it is. And I think a lot of people push back when you say, okay, yes, Jimmy is good, but he ain't what you think he is. And I think a lot of other teams see that. That's why when they play us, usually their answer is, oh, we're going – if the answer to beat your quarterback is we're going to force him to throw, that's a bad sign. like I wouldn't say that if I'm playing. I'm not going to say, yeah, we're going to beat Aaron Rodgers by forcing him to throw the football. That's the last thing I want him to do. I want his ass sitting on the bench. Like,
and you know what? The crazy thing is, I mean, what we're just saying, we've heard a lot of the Chiefs players in the Super Bowl. That was their thing. Like, we're gonna make your quarterback beat us, and they kind of made jokes about it. Like, yeah, we just want to make them. And then this past year, postseason, and I don't know if Deebo Samuel kind of said it on purpose, but maybe just saying like that's not the style that we want to play with. But kind of Deebo said it like, you know, they made us have to throw the ball. And that's not our game. And, you know, he might not realize it, but that's kind of an indirect
I think
shot
that's why later
at who your quarterback is. But
what he felt about Jim, he kind of went to bat for him after the fact because he's like, ooh, I probably shouldn't have said that.
Yeah.
And then
you see a lot
of
out
people
there.
kind of backtrack saying like, oh, yeah, Jimmy's a good quarterback and stuff. So, but also, I'm not concerned about Watson coming to Seattle. I just recently checked on my the maps on iPhone. Within a 15-mile radius, there's about 25 massage parlors. We good. It ain't happening. Yeah. And then also for him, I wouldn't even want to go to that situation because it's like you want to leave the Texans because of coaching issues, no offensive line, defense suspect. That's Seattle. I just described Seattle. Like, so it's like you're going to leave the same situation.
Inconsistent run game.
Running game. All you got is receivers because he had receivers in with the Texans. He had 2,000 yards receivers his last time he played. So it's like you're not.
I know everybody's sleeping on my guy Brandon Cooks, but Brandon Cooks is getting off.
Brandon Cooks is slept on so hard. That dude, there's a pro's pro. That dude is slept on so hard, and I wish we can probably trade for him. That'd be one guy I would like to add if it was possible. But I do like the core group of guys that we have. I've always been a Cooks fan, even when he was in New Orleans. But he, I am not worried about Watson because it would make no sense for him to leave one situation just to go back. Just pretty much, be stagnant. That's the same spot that you're leaving. Like, only difference is your colors is different.
Right.
And then you're going to a team where you're the fourth best team in your division. At least you got a shot with Texans. Like, all you got to do is worry about maybe the Colts, and they got a quarterback situation they're not sure about. Jags, you still don't know because they're about to have new coaching. And Tennessee, I think this is probably the last year that they're actually good before it starts to break down because Tannehill ain't that guy.
No.
He is not that guy.
He's another one of those guys where people are like, yeah, we want to make him throw the ball. And somebody, I saw someone in the chat say, here we go. Here's the comment. To be fair, we were considered a run-first team. I don't think Deebo meant any disrespect by it. I don't think Deebo meant any disrespect by it, but he, without even knowing, that's the issue. You know? So, like, he's not saying it to, like, talk down on Jimmy Garoppolo.
It was
but
kind of backhanded. Like,
the 49ers have to be that, and teams are thinking, which he said what teams are thinking, force the 49ers to throw the ball because they want to run the rock. Well, why do you want to run the rock so much? And what other good quarterback in the league do you say, you know what? We want to make him throw the ball. Like, I get scared every time Mahomes drops back and throws. I get scared every time, even Stafford, and he'll give you some. And I know the more he throws, the more he might give you something. But it's still scary every time he drops back and throws. Jimmy Garoppolo is scary for the offense. Anytime, and I've heard my guys, Middlecoff and Haberman, talk about this, where when he throws the ball, and the screen has to kind of pan with the ball, like that's scary. You know what I'm saying? Like, you don't know what's coming on the other end of that. But, Jimmy does play a good brand of, I don't even want to say complimentary football because I think he turns the ball over too much for someone who's supposed to be a game manager. But with the way that Kyle Shanahan has constructed the offense for him, he's done a good job, for the most part, of executing that.
He's done
to the
a good
extent
job
of you
of
winning
doing his
games
job.
And being able to go to the playoffs. But I do think if you are Kyle, it's probably a little less than ideal to have to win that certain way. When the 49ers were on a 3-game winning streak early in the year, people were like, remember, early on, 49ers, it was like, struggling to find their identity. And then They played the Rams. They ran the ball 40 times. And
Yep.
that's the identity. Like, that's how the 49ers win. Then they played the Jaguars. They ran the ball 40 times. That's their identity.
That's
and then
what we
they played
do.
the Vikings. Ran the ball 40 times. That's their identity. Like, that's how they have to win. Well, then what the fuck you need Jimmy Garoppolo for? Like, you know what I'm saying? So, and not saying, and I mean,
And then when you
he's a guy
stack
who
the
a lot of
box
people
like
think,
that,
and
the
I say
throw
that from
should
that
be
standpoint,
easier.
no.
When the box is stacked like that to stop the run, it's 1-on-1 on the outside. Those throws should be easy, especially the outside the numbers ones. But then it's just like he's looking Brandon Ayuk off when he's wide open, or he's looking George Kittle off and he's wide open because it's beyond 10 yards or outside the numbers. And it's like he's giving you an office where, okay, if this doesn't work, these throws should be easy for you, and they're not. Like, I've been pulled, it's funny, and then like the throws that are easy for him are the most dangerous ones, or those across the middle ones, and that's not a good way to live by either. I remember I pulled it's funny, I didn't realize I said this at the time too, and how it kind of came back full circle. I was watching his old highlights from when he started for us, that first 6 games or so, and even in real time, I said, okay, these are a lot of dangerous throws, but he still looks good. And I've been consistent with that assessment of him since then. And it's just now it's came back to like, okay, this is really a problem now. It wasn't a problem because then when we were winning, even though he was 6 picks and 6 interceptions in 6 games.
Six touchdowns, 6 picks. Yeah.
Yes. So
5 picks. 5 picks, 6 touchdowns.
5 picks. But each time it was always something. I remember it was a throw versus Jags. He threw this slant to Bourne, and I remember the crowd just going, "Woo!" Even I was like, "Bro,
it was scary.
You shouldn't have thrown that. You should have thrown it." Ramsey was about to house that.
Yeah, Ramsey was on him, and he kind of threw it in between a linebacker sinking underneath it, and it was dangerous. And I think that's the kind of gifted curse of Jimmy Garoppolo. I don't want to make it come off as if we're bashing him right now, but this is just analysis on like what makes him good, and then what makes him a little scary. And I think the scary thing is how he has to win. But when he wins that way, and when I say wins, I mean just complete passes when he's on, when he's sharp, that same way is just a little risky, and he tends to kind of throw interceptions in that same area as well. I think our guy Chris Sims kind of alluded to it as well, where after the Houston Texans game, he talked about our guy Trey Lance, and he was like, I probably would go with Trey Lance because he said, hey, the way Jimmy Garoppolo plays, it's scary as fuck. Like he was like, he said with Trey Lance, and this is him this is Sims after the Houston game. He said with Trey Lance, your offense is more explosive down the field and less. He said it's more dangerous and less risky because of how Jimmy. Now, when Jimmy hits that guy in stride over the middle, and they got those catching opportunities, it looks beautiful. It looks beautiful, but that area is a little congested. Throw it outside the numbers where there's not as many bodies, and
where there's no linebackers.
Obviously, not the strength of his.
Yeah, don't have them throws where there's no linebackers. Like Bobby Wagner's about to be pickless this year until he played Jimmy.
Right.
It makes no sense. But appreciate it being on, man.
All right, man. Thanks for coming on, Brooks.
All right, take care.
Here we go. Got another caller coming in. Got my guy Jake B. Jake B, what up, man? Thanks for being patient.
Yo, what's up, Croc? How's it going, man?
Oh man, I'm chilling. I'm blessed. Can't complain. How you doing this morning?
Good, man. Just a beautiful day. Another beautiful day, and just ready to get going for work. So that's it, man.
Where you live at?
Albuquerque, New Mexico.
Okay, I've driven through there.
Oh, have you? How'd you like it over here?
It's interesting. It looks different. Like it has like this different vibe to it. Almost like I feel like the whole city looks like it's made of clay or something. I don't know. It just looks different.
It is, man. It definitely is. This is we get that a lot over here. People love the sunrises and the mountains, especially down here. Beautiful scenery. Beautiful scenery, that's for sure.
Yeah. I like to drive. I like to drive from California, and I'm obviously I'm from California, and I go home often. And I know a lot of people just like flying, and I fly all the time too. But I like that drive, man. And I go straight through Albuquerque, New Mexico is one of my favorite parts of the drive.
Heck yeah, man. That's what's up. That's cool. That's cool.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, man. So Now I just want to talk to you about how you guys are saying that with Seattle. So we know them to be sneaky. They always pick up our players off off the market and stuff like that. And I think if they can't get Deshaun Watson, what do you think about them somehow acquiring Kirk Cousins?
Kirk Cousins' contract is kind of crazy.
That's
do the Vikings want to trade him? Because let's look at the Vikings.
Yeah,
if the Vikings trade Kirk Cousins, like, what's their answer, right?
Yeah,
and right now, I think you'd rather play with Cousins than you would Mond, because from what it sounds like from the head coach, I think it was Zimmer, last year, he had absolutely no intentions of playing Mond. And when I say no intentions, it wasn't like okay, well, he's developing nice, but it was like I see him in practice, like, he stinks. And I was like, damn, like, that was harsh, like the way he came off. So if you trade Cousins away, what's the answer? So I don't know if they go that route. Obviously, Cousins takes up a healthy amount of their cap, and he has a lot of guaranteed money structured into his contract. But I don't see them trading him.
Trade for Cousins. Yeah, that's true. That's what I was looking at. I was like, they're pretty sneaky, and I was like, well, what if they get Kirk Cousins, especially a guy that Shanahan's, he was always wanted. That was his guy. And I said, what if they do something like that? How would that, shake up the division? But yeah, I guess we'll see what they end up doing with all those picks. What do you think they're gonna do with all the draft picks and all that stuff that they acquired for for Russell Wilson?
Yeah, it sounds like they have every intention to go get Deshaun Watson.
Yeah.
That's what it sounds like.
Yeah, Watson, or who knows? Yeah, I was even thinking maybe even Christian McCaffrey. Like, what if they? I don't know. There's a lot of guys out there. They could probably get.
I don't know what it costs to get a Christian McCaffrey, but I feel like you got to have a quarterback before you go and get McCaffrey, because he's more of like a luxury, right? Like, you obviously having him, he's a terrific runner, terrific pass catcher, but if you don't have a quarterback, and that's your biggest need, I feel like you want him to be like, okay, I got my quarterback, I got DK, I got Lockett. Oh, by the way, I got Christian McCaffrey too now. I think you want it to be like that, as opposed to, well, I ain't got no quarterback, but I got Christian McCaffrey. Like, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah. You're right, man. You're right. Yeah, just I guess kind of thinking outside the box. Just of all the, free agency is pretty crazy. So But yeah, man.
Yeah.
So right on, Croc. Well, no, that's it, man. I just wanted to call in and say what's up, and that's it, man. Just that's it.
Awesome, man. Appreciate you coming on.
Yeah, for sure, man.
Got my guy Can't Tame Me. He says, that's not the one. Hold on, where's it at? Here we go. Zimmer didn't want Mon, and Zimmer's gone. So Mon has an opportunity now to kind of make an impact and a good impression on the new team. We'll see. Or not new team, new coach over there in Minnesota. We'll see what happens with that. Shout out to all 400 of you that are in here right now watching live. If you haven't already, hit the like button, hit the subscribe button. Also, Locked On 49ers will come at you 5 days a week. Myself, my co-host Brian Peacock. Numbers going up. It's the off season, and we are still doing numbers, especially for a 5 day a week podcast, man. I mean, we are doing numbers. Appreciate everyone that makes that one of the more listened to podcasts on Apple. We've been up there like top 25 for a while now. So shout out to all the listeners, the new subscribers, all that good stuff. Locked On NFL Draft, myself, Ryan Tracy. We come at you as well 5 days a week. Tune into that. Appreciate everybody that's tuned into this show right now. I got to start having some guests on so y'all don't just get my perspective on everything. I want to get some other people's perspectives. And obviously I bring y'all on. So, that's a different perspective as well. And we come on here and we have healthy conversations. I feel like the audience that we have, man, like, everybody's intelligent. So I fuck with y'all, man. I fuck with all y'all. Let's go. Kamara career ain't done. I just saw someone say his career is done. RIP Alvin Kamara career. We'll see what happens. He did beat somebody up. The crazy thing is sometimes people need to get beat up. Now you don't want to you don't want to, ruin your career over it. But I feel like sometimes people be asking for it. Like they just ask to get beat up sometimes. And where I'm from, But anyways, appreciate everybody. Says Croc, try to get some 49 players. All right, I'll get some 49 players. I'm gonna start getting on that. I got so much going on. I say somebody talked about some of the things I got going on right now. Got my building going up. They're out there. As soon as I get done with this, I'm gonna go check in, see what they're doing there. They've been putting up all the beams. It's pretty awesome to see that whole thing kind of playing out. Everything popping, man. But I gotta start reaching out to some people and get some of this, shows structured in that way. But that's gonna do it for this episode. Shout out to all y'all. Love y'all. Like, subscribe, all that good stuff. As my person, what's that? James is 2 times MVP. Yeah, you the MVP for this comment right here, man. Hit that like button, subscribe. That's why you're supposed to have your homies for that, all that good stuff. But anyways, that's gonna do it, man. I'll catch y'all on hopefully tomorrow. We'll see. I might have to travel somewhere, but if not, we're gonna be here live. Y'all know what it is. 9:30 a.m. Eastern time, 6:30 a.m. Pacific time. We're gonna be here live, man. Till then, I'm gonna see y'all. We out. Peace.
Intercepted. It is picked off by Aaron Crocker. Over midfield, he'll run it all the way into the end zone. Touchdown.
Croc Talk TV podcast. Peace.